All right, folks, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Put your hands together for your first team coming to the stage. It's G2 Esports.
This team in a do-or-die position, but in order to get their best chances at making playoffs, they have to win today. And again, this is no small feat. This is G2, the Titans of Americas that have consistently won it out. But this is the first time we're seeing them struggle, so we're looking at them today to make sure they solidify that spot into playoffs. They have so much more to prove about themselves. After having a little bit of a creative spree, they really need to show that they know how to go back to that form where they were earlier, becoming the Americans.
Yeah, G2 is a team right now that is currently fighting and figuring out how they move forward for playoffs.
Yeah.
Whereas their opponents on the other side of the stage, they are trying to, well, form the teamwork, form the camaraderie that will push them forward. Is today the day? Could very well be with Zeppa running out like that. Put your hands together for Cloud9.
He just went running. I love it. Honestly, for Cloud9, I know we have a lot of questions, and in the past 2 weeks they've made 2 roster changes, but these are some of the greatest roster changes, I would say, that Cloud9 has made recently. Something that they were talking about before was that what they needed to do the most is look for aggression, be confident, especially when things are going wrong. And both Jack and Note add exactly that. It is what they were doing in Challengers. They add confidence. They add that extra layer that Cloud9 needed before, and that could give them the extra today against G2.
Yeah, the extra firepower, the understanding, the voices, and of course, the experience that they had in Challengers is completely different, which means there's a fresh new mindset. You heard it in that Zelsis kind of interview where he was saying, we need to play our game and at our tempo and not be forced into G2's plan. And so I think going forward, that's going to look really good. But with these maps, Dan, Lotus from G2, I think this makes a lot of sense because obviously the last time C9 played it, they didn't have that good of a performance. They played it against Loud. They got 13-1. But did they have enough time to fix things? I don't know, because that was kind of a steep loss. But for G2, this makes sense.
We were really scared when we saw that first map for Cloud9. They couldn't get anything going, but then it got a bit more competitive the more that we got to see this series. And what is interesting is that the maps that you're seeing right now that the teams are going to be playing are the same maps that Cloud9 played against Loud just last week. So it felt like they had some things that they could fix, and especially once again with the addition of these 2 new players and with that extra time to prepare, I think it should be a lot more competitive. I'm excited to see if things are going to change at all on this side of G2. Of course, we already saw the change on Lotus for that harbor, maybe on Split as well.
I'm excited to see Split actually for C9. I'm curious what C9 are how they're gonna approach Split. How does it change from what they did prior? Because that's been a good map for them.
Yeah, the last time they played it, they won 13-8 versus Loud. I think when you have just a solid map, solid foundationally, slotting in an extra player, especially because Jack has already played that map with them, it's just a little bit easier, obviously, when you have that kind of advantage, knowing how you want to play on that map.
And it is a must win for both of the teams. So once again, going back to the comfort, going back to that composition that we used to see before on the side of G2, and especially you need to be paying attention to what Leaf is going to be doing, how he's going to be playing around the map early on, how he's going to be finding those timings. But on the other side, once again, I think the greatest duel that we're going to be seeing is going to be Leaf against Note. Potentially this controller, I want to see what he's going to be playing. Yeah, this is especially Omen, one of the most aggressive agents that he put.
I mean, on Lotus, you've seen Sadak do it, right? Where he just constantly retakes space by himself with no worries, and his positioning is so good. And I think when you're looking at a player like Note, you're expecting that forward aggression, especially because his mechanics and his aim is so good that we're gonna see that kind of confidence, hopefully, in the server.
Pressure's on for both teams. C9 desperately need this victory if they want to even have a chance at playoffs. And of course, for G2 Esports, a win here, you pretty much guarantee your spot. Let's go ahead and send it over to 2 casters, the best on the mic. Here's Riv and Vansili.
Thank you very much from the desk. You just heard it from them. This kind of sits under the playoff umbrella in different respective ways for both teams here. And G2 are going to be very hungry to get that locked in because of the losses that they've had. We heard Valen kind of talking about, you know, those actually have helped us, and we understand now what we need to do to go forward. But C9's also made their changes today. Have something to show.
Exactly. For G2 to at least had to bounce back after losing the first 2 weeks, but for C9 with 2 new players coming in, that's the big test going into this series today for C9. Can they actually win and keep their playoff dream alive?
We are heading on. It's time for your match start presented by Samsung OLED as we get on to Lotus. 2-2 for G2, that 1-3 that C9 is trying to build on with these changes. Jack now towards that initiator position. Oxy's going to be the Raze. Jogamo is going to be fighting on a Raze on the other side too. Kind of that mirror match for this coming in as they start towards the A side.
And this has been an identity of C9 in the past couple of weeks. It's the walk, contact, and pop. Something that punished them a lot still against Loud last week. But it works this time around as Leap falls from the hands of Oxy.
Oxy ready to start cooking right there, but Cloud9 having a nice setup to back him up. Not too much from Noted going down here. They still move forward. They're happy, trading the kills very smooth as they're in sight now, strong with 3. Valen and Trent coming in. Slight bit of utility, but Oxy's still going to try to trip him up here. Trent already reading the play, getting in another one from him, and they have the upper hand. Hearing the rope, it's going to be enough, but no. Jack gets down in time. Is he going to be able to do it? The pickup is going to be by Valen, and that's pissed around for G2.
A big test for Jack. Not only has he played last week, but this is pretty much his debut on the Americas stage because he only played in a smaller arena. This time, new environment, facing a 1v1 against a fragging IGL of Valen, but unfortunately couldn't pull it off. And good on G2 at least here. We saw the 5-man pop as soon as that contact came out for C9 and he scored first blood, and he had to come down to individualistic plays from G2 right after, from finding their own timings, from Trent doing Trent things.
Yeah.
Allowing G2 to score a very nice pistol round to start and to stall the C9 hit. You look at his veto as well here, Rivet. Doesn't really favor C9 too much, with the exception now of the second map with Split, because Split has been their bread and butter, at least for their stage. It's their only really big map win that they've had. And hopefully they're going to be able to bounce back from the last couple of weeks where they're still striving for a chance to make it to the playoffs in this first stage.
C9 working both sides of the map here, trying to throw G2 off. Valen with a beautiful paranoia. Can he get around in time though before he receives one? And Noted answers. A nice counter just to get the backside of sight. G2 still has that gun setup to go through, waiting for Leaf's Judge to get into position as he is going to start walking through that pit, or that orb I should say. And they slow things down. Nice job by C9 to quiet it as well. Not peeking, not giving up these shots. Oh, they're funneled though.
They're low on HP as well.
This could cause a problem. All in the same spot. This Spectre could absolutely put him in the grinder. Baby Bay. See if the patience pays off here. He's not going to be able to move too much with the vines coming out. Trade again. I mean, you got to be happy if you're C9 on this. You're still seeing bodies fall, but you're not able to get too many of the weapons. Seppa does have that stinger, throws it over to Jack. Now he's going to be trading that, so Jack has the HP to get the fight through. They're thinking of the little things to get the second round away from G2 here. Oh, then they step into the smoke. What is going to just be? Handshakes from Jogamo. Trent and Leaf pick it up, and it looked like C9 had a move, but it wasn't it.
I thought it was going to be a good round for C9 in the end when they were able to continue to fight back and get this plant down eventually, because that retake, I was like, Leaf needs to move in. He's the only one with the Judge that could do such good damage against low HP here for C9, but then suddenly G2 comes in with these no-scopes. The Guardian still comes in. What a nice little save in the end.
Boys, let's go, baby.
That's what it was all about. Cloud9 was not peeking, but they were sourced, found out. It was a good job by G2 to take their time.
For one setup now for C9, as again, it's been the story here of their style of just wanting to play with aggression. And they've mentioned at the desk here, Note likes to be with the team. He's been doing that a lot in the challenger scene. Although when you're looking at him comparatively to Vic in the past, he's more of like the space maker and also very good at multi-frags. He's very stoic in these fights, knows when to pick him, but never really puts himself in these clutch scenarios where Vic usually is going to be that playmaker for C9. So we'll have to identify a little bit this synergy, this scenario of how much it changes the playstyle of C9, their identity, now that they have Jack and Note in this roster.
Already very gritty in their fights. It's paid off that G2, that bonus buy, is hurt even a little more with the damage they took. So C9's going to take their time, read the entire map before they make that decision.
Yeah. At least for now in this matchup too, Vic has always been playing this Omen on this map, so it kind of just fits one-to-one in terms of the comps. And for C9 now to focus a little bit on trying to break the wall if they can, but consistently we're seeing this wall being placed a little bit more passively on that C side, forcing the hand of C9 to move more aggressively, more deeply into the site to try to bait that wall and to get trapped into it. So C9 are a little bit hesitant so far.
It's going to have to be a follow Oxy in. They see the wall. It does funnel on waterfall side. So they may choose to take that. But no, he's going to activate, try to get into the face of Valen. It's cleaned. Valen gets the Vandal. And now they have to activate. 10 seconds left on the round. The pressure cooker starts here. The bonus round looking in favor of G2, but instantly swept by C9 there on the rotations, on the site take. Spike down, reset that timer for a little bit. Strength comes in doing the damage. And it looks like Leaf and Trent are going to have a good eye on this. Zeppa so low at the current position. You have to wait for that tether.
Leaf still has to move in quick. Only has a judge to work with and is forced to move into waterfall now.
Clearing all the close angles first. Looks up, not going to be close enough, and Zelsis and crew are able to grab that for C9, getting the bonus away from G2.
Yeah, good on C9 as well for the last 3 players after Oxy dies from the satchel on C side to move in as a group to be able to trade, and actually not even trade, win the fights moving into the site. Look at these crisp shots coming through. First entry by Jack. The lurk, now you see the responsibility is still there for Zelsis as is Viper on this map, and he gets value out of it. But I gotta say, if you want this to be a little more cleaner here for C9 for that hit, you need probably Note to be with the team so that he could TP across the wall and not only leave Oxy to sacrifice himself every time. And we've seen that that's been the story a little bit of C9 in the past year. I'm just thinking about how when they were playing Corrode or Pearl, it's kind of just left stranded. So having a little bit more support can maybe help them get some cleaner rounds for the side of C9.
Looks like old G2 on their Lotus. Push out, grab C, mess with door, play outside C, and just hold that position until the team's going to take it back, getting all the info. C9 are on the soft side, but they're going to run into all of Leaf's utility, who G2 are very happy to leave on an island for a bit.
Face your fear!
Might fall through, active to delay, and they're already halfway across the map. This is going to force Oxy up. Baby Bay's already ready for it. Few more shots here, Trent. And G2 close it in onside C9. Zeppa doing what he kept behind here, but it looks scattered. They tried to get themselves into position after getting that spike in the site. And no go. Can Zelsis Source not Trent here? No. It just seems like they have C9 always chasing, always just on the heels of a kill, but G2 is able to answer it.
Trent's been that player so far for G2 this game. And that's, what, 3 rounds so far where he's had multi-kills and making it very possible for G2 to turn around these favors for them to win rounds. Thankfully, though, at least for C9, they still have a little bit of fight back here to keep this game close, but Trent is definitely a player to look out for so far. You have to think about, too, how C9's approaching this map, though. They have a compositional change, right? You think about the past. Last week when they played against Loud, it was double duelist. You had Oxy on a Neon. This time, Zeppa is going to be the Senti player, so...
Oh, do they activate ultimate? Seem a little anger here. Oxy's going to hold for now as they're backed off. G2 are guessing correctly on quite a few of these pushes, but don't get anything on that.
I mean, they almost hit gold there, almost struck gold with the C's nade. Look at Oxy, he's 5 HP, so he's forcing now to give the Vandal to Zeppa. And that Rocket's not going to get too much value either if they want to try to open up sites, because again, he's only at 5 HP. So that's a nice little W by G2 to stall that push for the B site plant. And now you're forcing C9 to stay grouped up to leverage the rifle in their trades to plant towards this A site if they can.
Playing passive just on the left side. Baby Bay's going to call this one through. Oh!
Yeah, that's it.
Knows Oxy wants to go through and pretty much thorns himself to death on that one. And now the patience. Maybe they said it in the first round after we heard their comms, and they're going to use that to retake this again. And the question is, how can C9 really turn the tables? Just that Vandal for Zeppa. Delay again.
And it's important for him, too. Remember, they only have that rifle to work with. Lost it.
Rifle's gone. And G2 just swarm. Jack's going to run, and it looks like they have control of it. The way they're retaking, the confidence they have in the fights, even if they're a 1v1 right now, yeah, G2 have no cobwebs to shake off in the start of this series, as C9 seem to be warming up.
And you see Jack's running away too, so that's actually very smart too for a new player coming in from the VCL to understand what's happening on the other side here of the scoreboard. Baby Baystar was one orb away of getting his ult. So he's just running away to make sure that BabyB doesn't get that kill. And it's actually Valen that picked it up. Allows your C9 to have a little bit more of a percentage win in their favor into the next round as they finally have rifles and the showstopper to work with.
Look at these successful post plants here for G2. Even if they don't find C9 in the beginning of the round, they're still getting an advantage somewhere that allows them to close it out. Valen playing that position, we see Sadakin very commonly. As they back up, it's not working right away. Got to keep it in your pocket.
It's nice for Note to TP and wait too. So the open default you see for C9 for this robo control is always inserting these two players at that spot. So you can start baiting this door. But usually it's Zelsis that's doing that, so it looks like you want to give that responsibility to Note so that he could try to force a duel here and maybe win a fight.
Get that confidence built up. You see he wasn't afraid to go for it, making some noise, trying to draw some eyes, draw some feet. Towards the middles, no trade's going to be there, and they want to activate right away. Jogamo gets a second off it immediately, and now they know they need to swarm the other side of the map. Ults go down, and in goes Cloud9.
This is big, though, for space for C9, because from the first ult, you start with the plant. Now Oxy has a rocket to work with to stop the push from G2 in spawn.
Nice verify kill confirmed by Oxy going through. He's going to bite off more than he can chew, possibly, but he's still using the info. And there he gets a little bit more. How far is his peak? Doesn't go for the swing. Oh, a double step. Takes down BabyB in the same instance. Rushing back in. Oh! Even trying to hold shift on Valen gets caught out by Jack out of Waterfall, and now they scatter back. Playing their lives, very smart. And this is going to be going down either way. They stay alive, and they're probably going to swarm Trent on this. A 4K for Oxy, and nice cross-map work there for Cloud9 to really get G2 off the ball.
Yeah, very nice by Oxy for the scaling as well. So the audible call, too, of what was ever happening on the A side after Note loses his battle to Valen and the shotgun or showstopper comes out.
Yeah.
The IGL Zelsis calls for the fast pivot towards that C site. And again, because the Steel Garden grabs all that space towards that C site, Oxy understands that he could take that space and starts for his own duel fights. And it was actually some nice crisp shots.
Yeah, the Prowler into the Boombot, just keeping spawn cleared.
So not needing to use a showstopper to confirm the kills and save it for the post plant where there's no time left for G2 to move in. That's the guaranteed round. So again, great plays from the star duelist on this side of Cloud9. Still money aplenty for G2. They're looking for a 3-man walk, and they already punished Zelsis.
Saw him a little jump up there. Valen actually got it through the wall, too, so probably saw his head and just cleaned it up. They're not convinced it's C just yet. This could play in C9's favor. A Viper and a Vice, though, to delay all of this. Cloud9 has their work cut out for him. That cooks Oxy down, and G2 is going to start trading him right back. C9 stalled with the spike, just walking in now.
It's up to the young guns.
Oof. Okay, trade was there, but Valen's faster. 3K for Valen, an instant back and forth there. G2 covers his site. Yeah, that's a thumbs up. Thumbs up for Valen.
I was going to say, G2 changing their setups, too, for the Vice wall for the last 2 rounds. I think they were prioritizing that, for the B-side hold. So it does give a gap here for C9 to start exploiting a bit. But this time around, when you still had the Steel Garden to work with and you pop it as soon as you get contact, it really allowed for G2 to stall. Speaking of stalling, it's going to be C9 calling out the first timeout of this game.
It's great movement for them. You're talking about having all that stall utility. They move the 3 back over to fight where Zelsis would be, so always keeping that death ball. And BabyB no longer has A to himself. So a few different looks that keep throwing C9 off, and they've only been able to get 2 in these 8 rounds. All right, 10 rounds, sorry.
Oh, yeah, 8 rounds.
No, 8 rounds. Yeah. I was like,
your
I
math is
counted
good.
wrong? I counted wrong?
But at least now for Note for his debut, it's starting to see that it's a little bit hard for him to find these duels, right? Even if he TPs towards Rubble, it's not his fault because G2 is playing different styles on the A-side hold, sometimes very passively, sometimes the walk contacts that are really keeping the A-side on their toes. So if C9 keeps defaulting with the same Zelsis and Note on that side, they seem to get punished quite easily here. So, or you want to force the hand a little bit more so that Note could join in with the battle to fight. They will, at least for this round, because it's a lower buy that you have for Cloud9, but the most important thing for the timeout is the round after here. Once they have the money to work with, how can they take value off the A-side rubble control that G2 likes to give up a little bit for a couple of these rounds. But I wouldn't be surprised here at this point if you're trying to push quickly with the Stingers. You could still leverage the pit inside the C site if you get trades in your favor.
Well, the timeout may not be for this round, it may be for next. But I think you're right. Stingers got to stick together. And it looks like they have a pretty free path on this one. A shot to the leg of Zelsis, and Valen just starts to clean him up with the Phantom as they enter in. Paranoia to delay. It's just the name of the game right now for G2 as C9 can't safely get the spike down really in any instance when they try these right away. And that's a runaway now for Jack. Maybe a plant somewhere on the map, but this Stinger is definitely going to go down at some point.
I like at least he fell back to pick up the orb, right? Maximize that to go into the next round. Get a plan if you can to add some extra money here for the team. As he walks in, though, I think this wall is still going to be up. Oh, actually, Baby Bay failed, so there is a chance to really walk in to go for this plant.
So close, though. He tucks. The repeat. He's only got 10 in it. Those 10 are going to go fast. They have to be right on Valen. If he comes around the corner, and Balance. Crosshair ready. G2 take another one. And to see if this timeout from C9 was meant for this next round.
Yeah, definitely, because the last round was just trying to get into the site for C, trying to get that plant. But you see for the exit, though, Oxy was trying to satchel in to get some value on that pillar to close that gap, get value off the Stingers as well, but kind of bumped into each other with Note. The scaling was on the same side, and he couldn't satchel in the right spot, and they both got stalled right at the bottom of the waterfall, and Val was able to swing out and get the easy 2 kills. So a little bit of miscomms here, but it's normal right now. If you listen to the C9 podcast, Jack, his first game was also first map on Lotus, and he talked about how nervous he was going into the first map and if everything was okay for the rest of the series. Note maybe could be feeling the same thing here for his debut.
Jack seems to have kicked those nerves a little bit here. We see him top of the scoreboard for C9 at the moment. Now they're going to start to move up towards B with him and Oxy. So looking to create this space. They go versus Jogamo. And now they're going to be able to split it, making it indecisive for the Jog to get that shot down and not activating just yet. Looks like they have the spike pretty far behind. I didn't think they were going to get this much space probably, but they will be able to get in time before G2 really sets up. Oh, I say that, Vance.
Yeah, they waited a little bit too long, too, and the spike is actually out in the open still. Can't really make it in if he clears that corner.
No way. Leaf gets it already. The idea already had spike at C for this round. C9 took so long to get it in, and now Leaf is going to punish them. It's up to Valen, though, the fragging IGL. As C9 find a way out of this box that G2 will start to build around him.
Spike planted.
Throws a smoke so he could play inside of it, too. But Oxy knows better.
All right. C9 grab it. A bit scrappy in the site there, trying to audible the strat without it going through the door. Didn't have the clearance, but C9 get it. It's a round they very much needed, and the timeout comes in.
Yeah, it almost felt assertive if I'm thinking of the comms for the side of C9 that Zelsis was saying, hey, wait, let me really try to get this pit out, but I'm getting punished here from the waterfall side. And once they finally have their footing in, as players fall back to reload, it gave enough time for Valen to flank from behind and even drop that spike. And he almost got that round there for the side of G2. A little bit of time wasted, but salvaged in the end.
See how they commit this time. Back towards the A side, but they're going to meet the 3 that want to fight from G2.
Toxin screen down.
That's what we're talking about, right? Try to punish here. They had great value off the wall contact on the pistol round. This time, though,
reading the play. Very nice by No and Oxy. Sourcing out a kill on that. Trent, good for a trade. And they're going to back up. They play their lives. They realize how hungry C9 is going to be for these last few rounds.
this is not the best look so far for C9, though, because they've been defaulting the Vice wall over on the A side. So there's a gap right now for Elite to flank.
Nightmares for everybody.
Nice.
Still going to be able to clear it. Have to be extra air. Oh, aware with the audio cut on that. Zeppa was able to avoid the whole mess. They like B right now. I mean, Valen doesn't like him in B, but C9 seems to have a lot of the ground gained here safely. It's about defending it. The crossfire isn't set up for him just now. Jack's got to cover this, but Valen is low. And that's 1-1.
Haunt up now.
Oh, against Trent. Jack comes out on top this time. and C9's going to capture another round.
And he's going to come out smiling out of that one for Jack. Imi and Zelsis, who actually praises Jack to be a mini Trent for the roster of C9 and having to face basically his doppelganger, fade on fade. And he's able to clutch that one in the end.
I mean, last time we talked to Trent in an interview, he said Jack is one of those tier 2 prospects that people are looking at. Definitely a notable name, and that's why. The man himself right there in a clutch versus him, and Jack was able to find the win. Also
currently top fragging for C9. So Oxy, the opener, Jack, the clutcher. And now Trent hit as we have an eco for G2, a mixed buy rather. We still have our hero rifle for Valen.
Yeah. Nice space gained by C9. The full death ball here as they go over towards A. First time we've seen this strat in round 11 now. And it's going to be the whole kit and caboodle as they head straight in for the plant.
Yeah, Baby Bay also has a rifle to work with. Nice little shot in the beginning. This could be salvaged, though, by Trent at the top.
That was cheeky, using their wall against them that went up towards the top side there. And now, again, they're stalled. This seems to be the problem. They C9 get in. G2 know exactly what to do to make it feel just uncomfortable, just enough. And now they can't plant safely. Oh, the answer's ready as well for the peak. They want to get the space. That one's forced down, so they're forced to go forward. Clear more, haunted out, found out. Leaf's going to come around with the classic, and another round of patience for G2 pays off.
You have to respect the attempt, too, from what Jack was trying to do as well with his util, right? If he throws that C's down towards that pit and you don't see a tether on that orb, he instantly looks up towards the top heaven so he can try to swing for a fight. Exactly. Or sorry, it was the Zeppa that swung at it. It was actually a C's thrown on the defensive side by Trent. Still gets him ready for the fight. Kind of replays.
Just ready.
Just chilling.
That's what pros do between rounds. If you're not doing that, maybe you're doing it wrong. All right, final round here in the first half. They're going to 3-2 split it this time, so maybe they'll head back straight through B, straight through mid. I think C9 working faster has worked for them. Just got to be confident in holding that site. Already stalled on C. Maybe they didn't fully want the space or would have taken a fight without double smokes, but felt uncomfortable there. Want to regain this space now that Zelsis already has kind of been offered by G2.
We'll have to see that Zelsis finds that timing, though, because I don't know if he was spotted by Jogimo yet, but his boombot's going to slow and maybe break that timing. Or being picked up, Oxy has Showstopper to work with, already being walled! Beautiful by Trent.
The Odin coming in. That is a way that they were going to try to secure the round, so they basically have to walk up for these kills. Zelsis does get one, and Trent knows this is a W press for C9. That's going to be through the B door as it goes. Oh, there's so much delay everywhere. I don't think C9's really felt comfortable in any of these situations here on the attack side.
Especially now, they don't have weapons to work with.
It's crazy.
Now they're closing a gap.
Leaves still peeking, wanting more, knowing he can take at least one and have the backup of Baby Bay on top side of B.
Left.
And there's one. Start the arc, Rose gets another. Oh, he gets the correction! 4K for Baby Bay to lock down the first half with an 8-4.
That's the cam view I want to see to stand up after the spray transfer on the 3 kills. The veteran still has it. And that's a nice wall bang, too, to secure the first blood for G2 and also helping G2 secure a strong lead moving into the second half.
Knew he flashed one, committed out, got it. G2 gained the momentum as they go into halftime. Let's see if it stops C9 from coming back in the second half when we come back.
We got this old mattress.
Waterbed.
And the receipt.
How about you beat it with a better deal on one of these fresh setups?
We can't do that.
Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill for a better deal today.
Guess you're not as cool as Verizon.
I'm just gonna leave it.
Back for the second half of G2 versus Cloud9. And some pretty powerful rounds, impact rounds by G2 to hit that half with Baby Bay getting a 4K. And now C9, very much needed pistol round, it seems like, to gain the momentum and at least put a stop to this tempo G2 has been feeling.
Definitely, and at least C9 had some moments where they're able to stop that tempo of G2 from time to time when you had these hero plays coming out from like the remaining 3 members, Oxy at the point as well. A little bit of clutches coming out from Jack too, so there is definitely a glimmer of hope right now for C9 playing the defensive side of Lotus now, although, as I've mentioned as we started the game, they were quite aggro for a lot of their plays for the last couple of weeks, but this time around, though, they are playing a little bit more passively, trying to find the information with utility instead. And G2 seemed to have realized that type of style from C9 last week, so all they did was stay back towards that spawn with a double insert on A side. So now, with the minute mark, you're forcing ahead of G2 to start prodding around the map a little bit more, and forcing also C9 players to start jiggle peeking because you want to save a little bit more of that util if you can here to stall the wave.
They're gaining so much space. Gonna hit a wall though.
Literally.
Here. Toxin screen down.
Nope.
Just saw Zelsis on the right side. C9's playing this one very cautious. They really don't think this is a commitment from G2. I mean, keep everybody alive in the situation, but they're going to have to head towards A here in the end, it looks like, unless it's a crash through Baby Door. Toxie, another peek? Nope. Right on the edge of that one. A nice trade with the Duelist. And he's still there for more. Oh! Fallon's going to be able to take him down. Quick swap over there to B. And a nice hold. This is going to be very late from Baby Bay here. Oh, trades with Zelsis, and the orb coming down gives him the upper hand. Squeezed into the B site with enough time, and Valen comes up with the shot. Gives him a chance for the pistol round. Both quite low.
Toxins going up.
Going to go ahead and ring around the Rosie for a little bit here as they have quite a bit of time to play with, but now Valen can head back towards site and keep that timing.
Chances are much higher here for Zelsis. One shot with the Sheriff. Valen has to hit pretty much a headshot here.
Plays deep in the corner. Oh, the knee to the chest. Finds the correction there. Boom. Takes him out. There's only one IGL that can fit inside B site there. It's Valen. A nice job. And again, another round where they walk up to gain space until they are just almost put in a fight.
Yeah. Ended up being 3 knee shots for the kill. But it did look a little bit questionable there for G2 to actually break that wall. It almost felt like breaking Break Room was trying to pull the rotate out from the staircase so that he could guess a split into the A site. But not breaking that Vice wall in the beginning from Zelsis made things a little bit more difficult for them to really go for a cleaner hit. And then they got caught off guard here from the rotate from C9, so it was close. But it had to come down to another 1v1 here for G2 to win the pistol.
And Leaf Lurk is so deadly. They're going to just condition this into C9 for the rounds until they don't use it. And everybody will be still looking for him. Heading back towards that space he's once again gained. The party of Cloud9 is looking to hold down C.
Looks like you're going to continuously find this fight between both Leaf on the Lurk and whoever is anchoring here on the A site. This time it'll be Oxy. Also will get spotted. Door's not broken, so he is in trouble.
Oh, no way! He gets one! The wall comes back up. He calls for it. What a help there from Zelsis to help him get a kill. Jogamo still picks that up, but it looked like he was dead to rights right off the bat.
Definitely.
G2 making their way into A. Looks like it'll be a safe plant here. They should be able to get this round and continue to mount up some of these ultimates. Who's going to get this one? They're just getting Nightfall back online, it seems like, to give it to Trent. Easy peasy. And hold this safe.
Planted. There.
Yeah, and so now you can definitely see they're just waiting for the last second to run into the radius of the spike going off. So G2 will instantly now hit double digits. And Trent definitely not going for any type of hunt yet. I feel like across the board for G2, you kind of still want to stay, because the weapons are still quite strong moving into the next round. You could definitely use the Outlaw and the Guardian to get some value out of it instead of throwing it away for some orbs. And remember, as I talked about, C9 liking to be semi-aggressive here on the defensive rounds in the past couple of weeks. This Guardian and Outlaw could still do some heavy damage if G2 plays at a slow default up towards that spawn.
G2 solidifying another round here. Expected Lotus to go their way. See if C9 can get an answer before too many ults come online for G2 here. And they can start to get theirs in the mix. I think that's one of the win conditions for them, at least, since they're not able to really read the space. We'll see what happens with guns, though, as we get into G2's bonus round.
I whiffed a little with the Marshall hot dog.
Okay, okay. I was wondering, too, I was saying C9 has to go up against the hot dog. It's been very powerful for G2 lately, so I don't know, what that's like an X factor. How do you beat the hot dog? I'll have to find out.
It's definitely the vibe call out here for G2 with these round dubs. The flick doesn't work out, though. A beautiful shot by Oxy.
Maybe he doesn't believe hot dogs are sandwiches. It's one of those fights. You never know. He's staying out there, though. He did this last round, so he kind of wants to own the A space for Cloud9 in these last few rounds and let them know there will be a fight. G2's still hovering towards the C side as they're wondering if Oxy will push through.
Shadows traveling. And G2's playing this very passively as well, just trying to prod around the map, see if they could hear the Vice Wall. Oh, actually, it needs to be used for actually space making instead of trying to break the Vice util. Well, it still popped.
They tried to hide the Valen TP in. Zelsis heard it. They're looking for it. Now they use the blast packs to try to follow up to see if they could get in secretly, but C9 isn't having any of it. It's going to have to be loud, and C9 will trade that back right away. Babyface tucked here, full HP, but he's only got a stinger to try to wreak havoc into the site. He goes to source another gun, and Jack says, no thank you. C9 gets another round for himself.
Great job by Zelsis to anchor up towards that mound, and he did very similar double kills and a hold on the A side a couple of rounds ago too, so putting him quite active around the map. And Zelsis was ready for that too. You talked about masking the sound here with the paint shells to TP across, but now finally, as I'd mentioned, the Jack util, it does get a seize, a tether out for onto Valen, and gets Zelsis ready for that kill. So yeah, great util support.
Back towards the A fight, and now they're on the passive side. C9's going to fight towards C. This is going to be maybe one of those G2 walk-up rounds. It has to be one C9 can repair and get themselves ahead on.
C9 kind of were in a good spot at the beginning, because right now they were playing close to that door on mount control. They could really open that door and really punish into the B side, trying to beat that wall. But instead, we stay slow.
No protection for Zelsis. He's got a lot of fight in front of him, and he's going to take one down for the trade. And that's going to be hit from two sides now. Front B and from little room.
Wow.
Into sight for the plant. Quickly pushing C9 out.
Great util scaling coming out from G2.
Yeah.
That's one after the other. 3 pieces of util to really push Oxy back and get the pulse plant now for G2 to set up.
They just get so much confirmation and being able to get themselves to good defensive positions, understanding Valen has time to now walk around because that util didn't require the full team to happen. So they have an answer for a push here. That note starts off on a high note. Jack now with another one, and Valen's gonna have to come in big. And look! Jack turns around with the timing! Leaf, the last one, the last line that Oxy puts down. And C9 get a very effective retake there from the new guys.
Trying to figure out what happened there when Baby Bay got that flash out, because Note was fully blinded, yet never died. So I almost feel like Baby Bay swung out to try to fight towards heaven instead. Yeah, look at that. He spotted actually on the top. Jack just couldn't win that duel. Quick with the shot. And they just got dismantled one by one from positioning for G2. Really not in a great position to trade off each other. And it almost felt like they were banking off Baby B's flash when you had one guy kind of still out in the open, though, for Trent's position watching on the top of heaven. So ends up being a good round for C9 for the retake. Breaks the econ for G2 one more time in this half. Although we're up in the tempo a little bit here with the TP across. Very similar pastures to C9 getting Note across the rubble. This time it's Valen. But the difference now is that they're actually being more proactive on the front B side. They've always inserted Leaf and Baby Bay This time around, keeping Leaf inserted could be the one that could really win these fights with the Guardian. Once you start forcing C9 to rotate, as G2's looking to make some noise towards the C site.
He found the wall. Leaf said, yeah, that's over at B. They back up. And they're trading spaces quite a bit. Zelsis finds that little walk transfer. And trade from Trent, honestly, it's going to be the one that matters on this is G2 are into C.
The biggest kill, because you're just jiggling for some info and then you get popped by that range with the Sheriff, and that's open sight. Because they had all device util on C here for C9 to just stall.
Oh, the thing that C9 couldn't let happen on this round, the low buy for G2 could go through. Jogamo's going to come up a perfect paranoia on 3. Oxy's going to try to flex his muscles as they go back in, slowed. And just got to fire it into the corner. Gets nothing out of that one as Jack now tries to answer from the waterfall. And that's exactly what they need to do into sight. Flood it and make it painful for G2. But it's Baby Bay firing right back. Going to get the legs of Jack before he peeks too. Could get the Sheriff shot on him. Oh, and he does from the backstab. Does Zelsis stick it? Trent's going to go ahead, look for the peek. He thinks he's off. And it's not the swing that Zelsis wanted. Trent capitalizes on another round for G2 as they get 11.
Big shots coming out from Baby Bay, saving that round for G2. But Trent is that big opener. Look at that shot there onto Zeppa. The biggest thing that he had too was a setup on the pulse plant. The util's amazing for Trent again. Even had the Nightfall to push out towards the spawn to try to counter the showstopper. But it just gave G2 all the info of where the flood was coming back from. It was coming from heaven instead of the waterfall, so it got everybody ready to fight on the top of that C site and forcing that second time out of C9. None used yet for G2, sitting very comfortably here in their game plan. As Valen was mentioning here before with Zoe, and it doesn't matter here who really steps up to the plate for C9, who they bring in. Just gotta trust their own game plan, and it's working so far.
The util just timeline of Paranoia 3 into Oxy's all into Vines, so he has to fire it into the that blows my mind. The fact that they have an answer for that going into the low buy round, yeah, they're thinking of everything on the side of G2.
Yeah, great heads up stuff too. That's basically understanding the state of what they're up against.
Yeah,
especially the util we were talking about when they were using to scale towards that B site. It's just always very clean in terms of execs here. Josh RT always been very good in drilling good utility for the team. Remember, back to like the Breach Tejo meta, a little bit easier, of course, in terms of util to give Jogamo some space.
Yeah.
But this time around, they're still doing some great stuff for G2 to allow Jogamo to get that space. Even though he's not putting it up for the numbers, it's the space that's important right now to allow G2 to scale behind and win these post-plant scenarios on their attack.
Expecting C9 to get a little aggressive after these timeouts. Wall placed back towards mid.
What I'd like to see from this round as well is a heads-up call for C9 to be more aggro on the A line. Because you have the pit on C, and I'm pretty sure Oxy inside B heard the wall being placed by BBB in the front of that B site. So you have to find a little bit of space right now and try to punish G2.
Double clear on front B. Yeah, pop the wall, make G2 sweat a little bit. Probably won't care with their movement. Easy check by Trent as he comes back. So we're just resetting for what looks like C. Try to cook through this pit.
And C9 still think it's A because they haven't fought for info on Rubble at the beginning of this round. They probably think, okay, we baited the wall, we still have a pit on C, so they're probably going to try to walk contact into the A site. So this is why you have this fake TP going in. You're forcing rotates out towards the spawn. And then you're just going to go for the full exec into the C site.
Oh my god, you see how uncomfortable this is making Zelsis? He already walked out of his pit twice. Now they TP in. Could still get work with the Classic here. He's done a good job to keep himself hidden. But they're already out of it. They're not taking damage. Backside sight. Zelsis, oh, he can't find one. Jogamo snaps up with 2 HP left. They're in sight. Limping around for him, but he's still going to try to take a forward position here with 15 seconds left. They got to get the spike. Then he gets another one, and he's going to ult. That one doesn't come up. Trent already finalizes the kill he had his eyes on. Jog falls, and Note has to sign his name on this one. Trent keeping it ducked. This is going to be the round. It's Trent again! A 3K for G2 and game point on the first map.
Dropping a 20 bomb for G2 as well. And in different occasions, the Young Guns had to step up on a 1v1 against veterans here for G2. Unfortunately, falls short one more time. And just as I talked about Jogimo, always finding space but not getting too many kills, man, did he open up that C site this time around for G2. And that's the issue of C9 not finding that information early in the round, giving too much space on that B and A line. That it kind of caught Zelsis off guard on that C site, and everybody else was way too late on a rotate.
Oh. They have been so prepared for anybody to be jumping on that rock anywhere around rubble at the beginning of this rounds, whether G2 is on offense or defense. The door opens. It's going to be a party in the tree room. And Oxy greets everybody right at the front step. 2 for him already. They're going to get seized, but the follow-up's going to be tough on this. They're just looking for how many they could have got eyes on for that tether. And Leaf knows he can get one with a quick peek.
Yep, and especially with the lurk now from Baby Bay in front of that B side, easy rotate over to B for the plant.
Clear pit. Oh, that's quite a bit of damage you're going to receive trying to traverse that. So forced around all the way to spawn here. And Leaf has a good idea of anybody that comes through. And
that's nice. He dodged even the boom bot, so he's able to stay inside that pit to keep it up. And another lurk from Baby Bay. Boom!
Oh my God! G2 has had the moments on map 1 and the momentum. C9's really going to have to buck back for map 2. They chose the split. It's going to be a good one, but man, what a first map we just got.
And what a time for Baby Bay to even go for the lurk on the last kill or the last 3 kills to win that first map.
Welcome back to VCT Americas. We get set up for a split between G2 and Cloud9. Now moving on to Cloud9's map pick, as the desk was talking about. You mentioned it before as well, Vans. One of their more favorite picks coming through throughout the stage 1. But I mean, G2 is going to be hungry to make it one of their least favorite after this one.
Yeah, and it's been teased as well by Josh RT. But Zoe, right? Are we going to see the Harbor again on split? Maybe, maybe not. So we'll have to see what G2 is going to come up with. And it's surprising for me too. I mean, you're playing against C9, who's only had results on split pretty much in all of their games. All right, remember I talked about it, undefeated in this stage 1, but also being 50-50, being 1-1 on Breeze. So G2 feels like they want to test out a new comp as we don't see the Harbor anymore, and they want to make sure here that they are able to test their map pool, and especially against a good team like Cloud9 on this map. It'll be a great litmus test, because you win this one here, you guarantee a spot to playoffs, and you guarantee, too, that the changes that you make for this composition will work out for the playoffs.
Giving themselves quite a few options here with a bit more util and just the Find and Sentinel utility area. Double duelist for C9, as we said. They got to use it, though. They got to go aggressive. Let's see him pressuring what G2 has to defend with as we get on to this split. If it's their best, they got to show us why.
Great, and for C9, they talked about it on their podcast too, that, you know, split is a map that they know how to play, that they're going to play it very well, although the 2 out of the 3 victories that they've gone on split, one had to go to overtime, one was decided on the last round of regulation for them to get their victories. So when it comes down to at least the macro and understanding how to move around the map, it's good, but when it comes down to the scrappy fights, it could always be anybody scenario to be able to win, especially now that you're playing against G2. That has serious firepower across the board. It's not going to be a walk in the park here for Cloud9 for the second map, despite you being undefeated in this one. So we'll see how this pans out. Again, hopefully going into the second map, a little bit more comfortable in the role, a little bit more comfortable in this team, and also on the stage. While for C9, switching away from the Sky and Jack coming in as a fade from last week has given them a lot of good results to help out to have a dominating win over Loud last week. They're hoping to do the same thing against G2 right now.
Keep those dreams alive. Spike's going to be down here to start for C9. This is just an educate themselves on what's going on around the map strat to start. See if G2 is going to be doing any pushing. And already heavy coverage towards that mid side to protect each other.
Yeah, for G2, they weren't afraid of being 2 players to fight out towards that front middle side. Now you orbit up, though, to just set up the crossfire instead into the mid round. C9 looking to make some noise towards this A site first.
Double Prowler. So they're committed now, at least to leave Oxy here. This is a big insert So util found. They like that they found the Vice here too. Spike's going to get picked up as they rock back across by Jack. And they'll have a free B to start off here.
That's the thing. If they do start executing towards that C site, the best thing G2 could do right now is just to punish Oxy over on A. Making sure they're not going to get backstabbed. Boombot sees him first, and he's forced to fall back, but there's still an insert on top middle. Nice entry by Zelsis.
Zelsis usually plays mid as well. Other teams he's been on, so he knows what to do in there. Trent quickly cleans him up. And they're getting squeezed harder. C9 still can't get the spike down. Reminiscent of Lotus already. His pistol could go the way of G2. They quickly clean up the members of Cloud9 who are scrambling to find the 1v1s. There are too many members of G2 here. 1 HP left, and that's going to be enough for Jogamo to get a quick cleanup on Zeppa. What a rotation back over after Oxy was giving him such trouble on ramp.
Exactly, that's quick comms for G2 as well, because you saw at the beginning where Jogamo went for the Boombot and it spotted Oxy. He said, screw it, I'm just going to move over to the B site, try to stall here towards this B site as well, and give that responsibility over to Baby Bay to stay towards A, to fight against Oxy if he needs to. And he gets these kills and also gets a second one, which allows him a second set of nades. Playing like it's Ray's beta. And then C9 couldn't get the plant down after all, so it becomes a really clean round for G2. It almost worked out, but we were a little bit too slow for C9 to execute from the mid round into the exec on that B site.
Even in the play, Jog and Zeppa both got 3 alt points there, so that's a 4th now for Zeppa, trying to tip the scales of when they might get that to change around. Baby Bay says, thank you. Vents are on lockdown. He's on holiday over here. 4-0.
Dre's definitely got the family buff right now from the crowd.
Backs off of that. He's going to get a bit of Jog and Valen buff, too, to give him some help on that. A quick round. Only 1 lost in Trent there, and they'll pick up some more weapons to keep the economy good.
And that's 2 rounds of no plants, rather. At least we get some orbs up. And look at that stall, man. That flash on the top 2. No value for Moxie on the slide. The Razor Vines continue to be a pain point.
Okay, done.
It almost reminds me a little bit of the FURIA game against Crew, where Alim could really move at all on Lotus on that Neon. This time, you're disintegrating the value of the Neon slide on the top of the vents. It's a different setup, too, for having Baby Bay's responsibility to watch on the top of mid instead of setting up an anchor Vice player on the A site that we see Brock do a lot here for Energy. So I'm liking this little new setup here for G2. Almost looks like a basic comp, but the way they're setting things up is new for us to learn.
I just want to walk up, get Oxy into a fight for this. A nice push on A gives G2 the knowledge that they don't have to take this mid fight. They have a bit of control now that could take down Celsius. He swings himself to safety and delays, but he does get the info on 2. So it's how C9 pushes and pulls this now.
Jaw picked up the orb. Now the players on the A side are kind of pinched, though. So they have to come up with some big fights here.
Little inserts could really pay off in the audio area if they start hearing these rotations, and they should actually hear Baby Bay heading over. Oh, they both know who's going to peek first, though. It doesn't look like anybody playing it safe on both sides. 30 seconds left in the round, and they don't have info on who's covering these sites, really. They know who's in mid, but not who's going to be in the air.
You definitely don't have map control here for C9.
No.
G2 is letting them walk into a B-side crossfire.
Relay gets him a little bit of space, but they're still having to search out. That's Oxy's job, being a personal sentinel for the team, going in and finding things. And now it's going to be the plant. Always a lot of damage that G2 does to whittle C9 down to make these post plants that much harder.
Got to wait for Joggermo to meet up with the team here. Has 1 satchel that they could probably utilize after a flash from the game sim space on New Box.
Whoa. Playing in there. The circus act of G2 jumping around, but C9 still has the aim on lock. Can't get 1. Tries to displace with the bite. Oh, he plays the corner, gets the model kill on 1, and Leif gets the second one when he never should have.
A nice little 1v2 with the Red Bull clutch there for Leaf. Snake bite to keep them aside, forcing the footsteps as well from the player moving forward, which I think was Oxy too. So he isolates the fight. Gets the wall bang on the first, and then just understood where the second one was moving because they were trying to play the high-low. Very nice by Leaf. It all came down from great fights over on that B site too to make this very possible for Leaf to be able to win that round.
Baby, come on!
And that's a bonus round converted for G2.
Jeez. That Red Bull clutch coming in huge for Leaf there. And the rest of G2 to feel confidence. Oxy's on the slide and Bucky right now, Job. We'll see if they can get some space here on ramp so they can get into vents and make this feel weird.
And G2 is going to keep C9 guessing. Wall's in a different spot. Razorfine's in a different spot. The pushing from G2 is in different lanes as well, so C9 are in for a heat.
Almost got it controlled. Baby still with the transfers going into split now. That's going to be a Phantom up in heaven. How can they reset this?
They really can't. Because of this push, you know that they're kind of into this A heaven side, and Valiant just has to play it passive.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, almost get the third. Noted has time to pick up a Phantom. Just 8 bullets in there, though. And they're, G2 feels so confident. Just keep walking around. They'll take the ones. It doesn't matter. They're eventually going to find them. And Jog is going to be the first one to have a chance at it. 4-0 now for G2.
And the only thing that really stayed the same in terms of G2's setup was the Viper wall down towards middle, right? So as that continues to go up and down, you're not only blocking the lanes and visions here from the Robin shot, but also trying to delay here the fast pushes you can potentially get from C9 from the Raze and Neon on the top of the A ramp. So it's nice here, the setups, like I'm saying before. It's just the positioning around how G2 peons himself around the map. Looks like this time it's a B-side wall for Baby Bay. While still anchoring on top of mid, they set up a crossfire on that spot, but C9, they want to change the tempo a bit, being a little bit more quick on that A side.
Whoa. Both are going to try to meet the fight. Let's see how they're calming this fight right here on C9 side.
Can you pick with me?
Wait, 1 second. No, I can.
3, 2, 1.
I
got wall for you guys again.
I got wall for you.
Good, oh, no, I can't.
Taking heaven again.
Down mid, sewer. Running away, going back to mid.
Yeah, they're gonna come back B. They might just have to go mid, fight us. Yeah. I think kill's gone mid.
Honestly, you guys look for a kill with Jack. If Jack doesn't get it, then you guys just save, I think.
Yeah.
Just 2 over your 1.
So you see the game plan in the mid round. Just try to walk contact, the walk glitch, as some watch partiers will like to say. Jack gets a pick, it's good. They execute off that, and they trade off onto the site. If not, it's a save, and they're trying to figure things out. I mean, now you're forcing themselves to make a little bit more noise here.
30 seconds left.
Because you don't know where G2 set up.
Yeah.
Where are you?
And they're not going to give up a kill in this situation either. Nobody's even really moving unless it's across their back defensive line. Baby Bay may be the first one to find a fight. It's 11 HP, an easy takedown onto Oxy, and now that's the call from Zelsis. Jack did not find one. We're going to save.
Jack couldn't find one. Oxy instant dies, so whoever dies, you want to keep these 2 rifles for the next, but the ropes were definitely heard by Baby Bay, so he's going to potentially try to help out or force the fight to not allow C9 to save, but decides to pull back instead towards the A-ramp. So those 2 rifles from the 2 new players going into C9 will be carried over into the next round. And look at the dodging across. It's like a little pit for them to fight it with the showstoppers too. Hard to get contact and value out of it from both of them.
And after the chaos on the other side, they're not staying in sight when they know they can get an advantage. You have people pushing into mid, the walls are coming up, going down, you really don't know what's going on. And somehow G2 is always on the other side, ready to take a 1 or a 2, stop the fight. They seem to have an answer for everything here. C9 decently close to quite a few pips on those ultimates, 1 or 2 away on a few. Has to be a way that they turn this one around. G2 with 5 already on the defensive side and really looking comfortable.
And remember, this is 5 rounds now played by C9's camp on the attack side, where I don't really think that they've figured out where the Vice Wall is yet. So coming out of this timeout, there's not a real protocol that you could do to say, step 1, let's bait the wall and let's try to see if it can work a mid-round here for Cloud9. Because it's always set up in different areas.
Yeah, I mean, Oxy was able to hit it first round, but that was himself kind of playing around it. They didn't really need to worry. Now, like you said, it's just a game of where could it be, as Baby Bay is using a choose your own adventure book to figure out where to place it next.
And because C9 haven't really pressured the B side outside of the pistol round 2 with the Viper wall with the lurk up, they don't really know what type of defense line we have on that B site, and seems like G2 already understands that. They're now putting 3 players out there to start. Well, hopefully here for C9, they have the weaponry to trade, the skills to trade too.
Last round, Zelsis played, I wouldn't say the old, but the Viper Orb over the top to kind of feint. If you could walk in, bring it up right outside B main, throws it over the top of the lineup. So I think they were trying to get Zelsis on another push through here with this aggression. Looks like both teams will have to back up before anything happens, though.
Trade out a little bit of util, though, but C9 will have to be wary of the presence of G2. 2 players that were working that side first. Although when the Prowler came out, I think only 1 person shot, and unfortunately we're going on a mission and it gets punished right away by Leaf.
Kind of testing the waters a little bit. G2 is still looking at the angles. They're not playing as safe as you would expect. Trent peeking a bit towards that top side, but Paranoia just misses.
Yeah, slightly hit him, but the Prowler falls and gets the info still.
Champ. G2 instantly looking straight up. Nothing is even throwing him off guard right now. Nope. Thinks he gets the call to back up and save this Vandal because it is just ground being gained right now. Seems so hard. If C9 get it, they've lost half of their health or a member getting in. G2 are giving nothing for free.
Yeah. And that was just simple utility being thrown by Trent.
Yeah.
That really stalled the 2 attempts of C9 to take B heaven control. First one being the seizing all 3 players inside mail, and as they try to go up with the Paranoia pinch, the Paranoia play from Note, then it gets stopped by a Prowler, and you have a double crossfire setup from Hell.
It's good too. Valen's able to clean it up for 6.
Yeah, get comfortable in it. Having 2 players rush down against you, and you're able to take 2 down on for your side, and it almost seems, before we got onto this replay here, that a force spike came through. Note went instantly for a Vandal with small shield, so I wonder here if Cloud9 are starting to look and feel desperate in the second map.
Especially with rounds, so many going out the defensive side. Pistols not going their way, and well, there are kind of macroing back and forth. G2 seems to be able to stall that, even if C9 have the read to get there in time. Zeppa's going to go fast on this. Got to use that double duelist to effect now, and they're going to try to pinch from both sides. Oxy coming up, very active for C9, and a wall is going to put a pause on everything for just a moment.
The thing is that it pauses them there, and they're trying to move up on mail. There's still 2 guys on the top of B heaven.
Yeah.
So you had to force the fight now to A.
The jump out, but the swings weren't there. Leaf gets another one. It's just slightly mistimed, and G2 are able to take it every time.
Too much Sol coming in here for G2. Oh, I was going to say, give me that 6-7 peak.
Oh my God.
But Trent doesn't need the help, moves up and picks up the last one, and it's 7-0 now for G2. The stall that I want to talk about is, one, we figure out where the wall is at. A couple of them got trapped, and you see what they're trying to do here for G2.
Yeah.
Wall gets procced up. You could actually razor vines there. You could snake bite with nades to really not allow your opponents to take A heaven control. And if you actually give up that space a little bit here, and you think you have it for your opponents, for C9, for example, you still have the crossfire set up from back spawn, from lower sight.
Yeah, Leaf wasn't even really involved in that for the most part, and they still had the anchor in sight.
And you're always seeing like these instant ping pong swings coming out from G2 and from so many angles that C9 doesn't really know where to look yet. So they're still learning round after round on how they can really break the defense of G2.
Zelsis looks like he's in position for a lineup, so they're going to hit the site when Nightfall comes through. Good kill on Valen already, so retake smokes are gone. They set up, get the spike down. They're using everything. They're still denied off the plant to start. They're afraid of where Jog could be, and he's actually going down on the other side.
Yeah, finally lost the fight there.
Finally. Okay, Trent.
Uh-oh.
Leaf gets another one.
Trent has Nightfall.
Dropping in. Oh, jumps over. Hopscotch is one. Jack and Zelsis are able to clean up the last few kills, and that's one coming in for Cloud9. A very much needed round to stop the bleeding.
We'll have to see how Leaf died here on that 2 versus 4 for G2, because they were looking to win some individual fights from Trent first. But as soon as Trent was able to initiate the Nightfall, engage the Nightfall, Leaf instantly died towards the spawn. Yeah, there you go. He was showing himself a bit. Not waiting for the Nightfall to come down for the Tetanus to come through, and then after Leaf falls down, it doesn't give a chance here for Trent to really move into the site to win that 1 versus 2 inside that pit. So C9 finally on the board, and it took some heroic efforts and an entry from Oxy with the overdrive to give him a chance.
Absolutely. Got 5 kills across quite a few people for C9, so everybody getting their hand in the pie there to make sure these rounds work. Baby Bay is going to throw himself right into sight there with Valen for extra protection. Awesome help for those two. Oh. C9, they're trying to look for the kills. There's a cleanup onto Valen and Jog. Zelsis found mid. They're expecting these transfers to be everywhere. Oxy gets 4 to his name on that. Quickly picks up the kills we were looking for. If you're a C9 fan, and it's looking good for them now as they're surging a bit. Yeah,
and the first time that G2 pulls out an operator and they get no value out of it because you had a quick hit coming out from Cloud9. There was some great stalls from the BB to start, but after that, when they're trying to coordinate a fight from bottom hell into the new box, Oxy was just ready. Nice little 4K coming out from the duelist of Cloud9. Although 7 rounds won in a row here for G2, they still have one more wave of full buy that you have, potentially even a mixed buy going to the next round for Valen, Trent, and Baby Bay. The good news, at least for C9, with the last 2 rounds that they won, they also nullified some big ults out from the side of G2. No pit, no Nightfall this time around too, but Joggimo's 1 away from the showstopper, and they're already going for that control. He has it now. And he's going to meet up with the rest of the team to fight back against the mid control from C9.
See if they're trying to prep this out of him. Made quite a bit of noise through mid, and that's a dangerous spot to go, knowing there is that rocket on the other side. Well, Jog actually gives up his position as Baby gets one from Mailroom. A second, no. Oxy able to trade this, but the spike is down. As they start moving forward, they don't have control of where they really want to take this just yet, but they are getting the kills that matter. Now they have a decision. Heading towards A, 3 strong on that side, but they're going to have to get Zelsis here ASAP. Vans. This shouldn't happen, right? They're still delaying the spike with only 1 person in sight, and there's a few members of C9 that should be able to stop this. Fancilly! Jogamo cleans up 3, and he's looking for the 4th. It just never ends. C9 can't get that spike down. G2 always find a way to stall it, and they've had an answer across both maps, it seems.
And Zelsis has no time. He has to drop to make noise to pick up the spike. Prowler even in front of his face.
That's just absurd, man. 4 kills for Jogamo. Alone in sight and sits C9 down.
And good heads-up play by Jogimo, too. Just hears a noise from Oxy, just jumping all the way from B Heaven, called by Trent, moving to the A site for a plant. You know he's going to try to plant for Heaven, too, so what does he do? He isolates the first one, thinking somebody's going to swing out from a ramp. And because they don't talk to each other for C9, Zelsis gets caught as he turns around the corner. Here's the drop from the second player, and then could just win that fight on a double swing that wasn't as coordinated for C9. That was great for G2. Just C9 feeling the pressure of the time squeezing. As it's forcing them to hand and forcing them into errors.
And it looked like they were just getting the momentum. Oxy sliding in, making the plays. And that's a regen shield for Jog. He's going to be back up to what he purchased, so he gets the info there, and it works in his favor.
I still like the start from C9 in that round, though. Well, hold that thought, though, as Zelsis opens up 2 on the A side.
First time he activates alone up the ramp. It's just been a sit and wait to see if G2 push. A little bit of life here. The aggression and proactivity coming out of C9 hits the mark for round 11. They're still stalled, and this has been the bane of their existence here on both maps. A shot to the face of Baby Bay from Zeppa's rocket, and the showstopper clears the site for a plant.
That might be a save here for the last 2 players. Leaf has no money. Valen only has 900 to his name. Yep, Trent's already spotted and holding rather towards spawn onto the attacker side. So it gives us a little bit of a time to talk about the opening that I like from Cloud9. With the amount of times that we're pulling up this wall up and down for the defensive line here from the Viper, they actually stayed out in the open and waited for the wall to come down and just focus on that right side, where when the wall comes down, the jiggle still comes out for G2 to find information from top mid into Ramen. So you're kind of just jiggling out, catches him a bit, and it forces then Jogama to fall back onto Vent side. Feeling the pressure for G2 on that spot, Zelsis finds his timing on the top of that A ramp and lines up 2 kills. But there was a moment there that C9 could really punish on that jiggle peek on the top mid.
I'll find you.
Gives a chance for G2 to understand that going to the last round of the first half.
Don't want to mess with Trent too much more. Like you said, that last round, very much needed pullback for C9 here. A clean reset for Zelsis. Oh, that's something we haven't seen, kind of the combo of the Neon Rays being used together. Or if we see like a Motto or a different Neon kind of jumping in, being the eyes like a drone, and to come back, really feeding each other the kills and just confirming that. Like I said, everybody though, getting their hand in the kill column for C9 as they get a few rounds in their favor and start to come online themselves.
This time not playing out in the open to contest the wall when it comes down. They're just going to wait for it to come down and potentially prowler up to make sure nobody's walking down here for G2. And there you go. They clear out towards the top mid.
Almost twice. A lesson almost not learned there. And Baby Bay drops. Can he get out of sight is the question, though. C9 is still trying to find more to fight on this one, and Zeppa's going to go right into the vines to do so, knowing something needed to happen, something needed to change, but they can't follow up. The vines prevent the rest of the team from entering from B main. Oh, Baby Bay playing hopscotch over here. He's going to get another one. Oh, cleaned up by Note. Very nicely done by the new player on C9. And Jack as well here, going to get Zelsis to come in from behind and try to get this round of 3.
It's up to Leaf and Trent again. This time no nades to stall here after the C's. Big hot though, but couldn't get the kill as Leaf.
Trent on 1, can't get the next one, and C9 grab a very much needed 4th round here in the first half.
Great on C9 to stop the bleeding as well. And it was off the back of more aggression and confidence out from Zeppa and Oxy. So he runs alone on the top, and then Zeppa walks in, wins a duel there. On to Jogama on the top, and that gave them a chance there to open into this site.
An 8-4 first half. This next pistol round will be crucial for Cloud9. We'll see how it goes when we come back.
Red Bull gives you wings.
It's time to get the second half underway as we head back into VCT Americas with G2 and C9. Like I said at the break, a very much needed pistol round ahead of C9 right here. It's been tough for both maps on that first round.
Exactly. Let's refresh what's at stake, right? G2 wins this map. They win the series, and they're guaranteed a spot to playoffs.
Yeah.
For Cloud9, even if they win this series, they're not guaranteed a spot to playoffs. So they really need to win this one right now for C9 to give themselves any chance. So getting those last 4 rounds out of 5 in the first half was super important. Needed some hero plays and the veterans to step up to the plate to get that done. First off, the lineup that we had from Zelsis for the 2K. Then we had the entry from Oxy and for Zeppo the last 2 rounds with showstopper combination, Neon ults as well. It really kept them in the game. But it took a while, though. We talked about it, too, right? A timeout that was called by Imi a little bit later on the first portion of that first half of like, crap, how the hell do we fight against this continuous revolving positions of G2 on a defense?
Where's the wall? Where's the util? We have time to find it before they even get shots off.
But now it's different for the attack side now. You can't really throw the same amount of surprises with this type of composition in my eyes for G2. So now C9 can really play into the comfort of the way that they mentioned on their podcast, that they know how to play this map now, right? So on a defense, it's going to help them out a little bit more because you're not going to be able to play some little funky walls unless G2 wants to try to do that by taking, for example, mid control and throwing walls at different spots, but that doesn't really give you true value and space.
Right, you can throw mid and they can just rotate spawn.
Exactly. And you're losing that gap on the info from spawn if you're not having somebody watching that gap that you left behind right from the wall. So I think this is going to be quite standard. What a comedian. What a comedian. He looks back at the crowd. Wait, nobody's laughing?
What's he doing in there? Oh, I guess it switched when they're on that side. Because I always remember him over here. Yeah. No, we're waving? Oh.
Can I catch it?
That's dangerous.
No, do
that's
that.
dangerous. Don't throw that. Don't
Sorry.
throw that. We're getting a monitor fixed up. A monitor went out, and we are turning that back on. Because it's helpful to have that when you get in. What is he?
Especially a Samsung OLED monitor.
Oh, for Jack. Props for Jack. Zelsis. Putting him in the limelight.
Which is good. Again, right? You're trying to make them feel comfortable going onto the stage. Jack last week had to play into the small arena with no crowd.
Yep.
It was a more intimate setting, but it's a great also first step to ease himself onto the stage,
True.
right? And Nope needs the same thing right now. Yeah, what I like though is the vibes from Nope though. He doesn't look like he's nervous or anything at all when I was watching him getting ready on the stage. He was in the range, having all the bots out and just spamming jet knives just to get his
he's enjoying himself. He's taking it in. He's just looked back. Exactly. He's like, what do I look like? Oh, man, I look good over there. All right, okay, I like that. Yeah. Both having fun on stage here. And we just saw Emmy, too, on screen. They were smiling. They're chatting. They know they have an idea here to try to get back in. It's whether or not they can make it work against a very hungry G2.
Hey, they have some sort of idea here, looking for a paranoia and maybe some aggro fights into B main off the contact. Sees nade. Paranoia hits.
It's a little separated.
Yep.
But a stall is what they need. So they know there's a fade. They know there's Omen. They know there's a raise at B.
The thing is, for G2, they haven't played a default for their pistol round either, so they can't really play some map control and inserts and finding their own timings on the mid side or A side of the map. Exactly. Leaf is watching for a push down.
Insta peeks. Great coverage by Trent and Valen, though. The up-close Prowler grab was not on the person that they were able to get. And now G2 have full control after taunting C9 into a garage fight.
Retrieving flash. Thorns are live.
Thing is, though, it's a high-low setup for C9, and it looks like Baby Bay recalled his flash. Unfortunately, Jack is going for the Prowler. I was going to say that could have been a really good high-low surprise factor for C9 on that second attempt of a hit from G2 towards that B site. But the Prowler hesitates the attack side of G2. It's up to Leaf to lurk for an entry.
Zelsis turns, but Leaf has the timing to get back into the site, and Pistol is all but secured here unless Oxy can slide across the finish line against both Leaf and Valen.
He's got the util, and he has a bandit to work with as well.
This would be huge. This is the reason they picked this guy up for Cloud9. He's going to be able to find the back of one, and oh, Leaf still able to snap his head off. Not like this.
Not enough damage, unfortunately, with the bandit. Missing a couple of these shots, and Amy was talking about it, needing to convert some pistol rounds going into their map pick, but unfortunately, they are now 0-4 in a series on pistols for Cloud9. Very similar scorelines as the first half here. This puts G2 in a very comfortable spot to instantly get to double digits.
Isolate
This for Cloud9, the call. Are you going to try to go for a force buy and try to get the surprise factor? And the surprise factor is the classic walk-up instead with a stack.
Nice identification here by Oxy. Team, oh, they still get a good amount of space on it.
Look at his smile. Look at his smile after. You did that to me on pistol. I got you, bro. I got you.
Got you this time. It's always harder when they're not looking at you, right?
Yep.
As we could say. Quick plant. And this is going to be an interesting timing. They might get one more very quick off of this because of how weird this retake might be, but the wall will.
Exactly. That's the annoying thing. The pesky Vice
Yeah.
wall. That will sound the alarm for G2 to get ready for the post plant. They still have paint shells on top of that, but actually Joggermo's a little bit too far away to help out the stall. That push in.
There's util they're trying to dump. Oh. Getting these plants down without backside control is always so scary, but they're going to do it. And G2 is going to wreak havoc. They knew they could with the patience and just setting it up. Stingers galore. Picking up that round 10-4 here for G2.
And they're really hoping here for C9 after a tap that G2 would start scrambling and rushing in to prevent that defuse from happening and scaling back in different areas of that map on the over on B. But elevation, they had the post plant. There's no reason to really move in right now for G2. They saw the whole scenario unfold from Baby Bay on top of the perch. Is Trent mad because he couldn't get any kills that round?
Maybe.
Leave me some.
He's like, come on, guys. He's at double digits.
Definitely has a chance to get some now, though, as here's the Guardian to work with. A slow round for G2 as C9's on their bye.
Good identification down towards A. C9 is trying to stay very aware of what's going on. A little active while also a little defensive. Looks like we'll get a rotation out of Zalsis here as he thinks this play is actually just a fake towards this A side.
And pissed around before was G2 getting a little bit of map control, trying to make some noise and have Leaf go for the pincer. But this time he's spotted by the Prowler and he's forced to fall back. And that's going to change the style of G2 here in the mid round as we get a 1-for-1 trade on the top of B Heaven.
G2 instantly walking forward to pick up that gun. Let's see what their win condition is on this round.
Native be Heaven. We go ropes stay. Heard. We got a peek sight. Ready? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Keep walking, you're good. Can't push that, man.
Yeah, I think it's fade.
Ready? Let's start walking. 3, 2, 1. Hey, just clear spawn if this is the time. Ready? Do we have anything for this? We're just
drop.
30
3,
seconds
2,
left.
1.
Yep, we're good.
Maybe playing the trench. 20 seconds, boys.
3, 2, 1. I'm clear ramp with this.
Flashing out Heaven.
Not ready yet.
Felt like I was watching a kid show, learning how to count. But G2 gets into the site for a plant. It works out. Very passive plays from Cloud9 as they're looking for the Flood retake. Oxy does have a Judge, though, to work with, so that's going to help them for that retake.
Oh, they're trying to get in some funky positions. Just make it feel weird. Everybody from the same spot coming in off of a paranoia that is towards elbow. And Oxy's in. Valen receives the first with a Judge, and it's going to be laying down a verdict as Jack also comes in for a kill. C9's able to sweep a few off the site, and it just leaves Leaf. But that's a scary Leaf floating around on the side, and he's still able to lock down 2, a third one above, but no, it's there. And he's able to sign off on that one. Yo, here, this is going to be, is there enough ink in the pen? Oh, 2.24, Cloud9. Keep G2 off 11 rounds. What a clutch.
Signed and sealed when you're playing a 1v1 against Leaf. And also, Leaf almost had the surprise factor somehow, even if his position is given away towards Hell. He stayed tucked in, forced the hand out of Note to push all the way out. Right over here, could have won that fight. Ooh. You saw how a couple of the shots missed. And thankfully, it was just enough time for Note to move in to win that 1v1.
Why are you peeking? Because he's hungry. He knows what he needs to do.
They did some good damage on the bonus round for G2. So drop in 4. Getting also a plant. But the Outlaw's not going to do too much here. As you can see, full shields across the board for C9. Well, I'll do some assists. Not even. Jogamo gets the full kill.
Just straight through. Realizing they could find a fight on ramp, they are deathballing on this. It makes sense with the amount they're able to cover each other and just the aim prowess they've had throughout the series. Valen finds Zelsis looking for a cheeky kill up in heaven.
Spotted Zelsis, or Zeppa, sorry, for G2 as they're moving in for the plant. Looks like they were looking to engage towards screen in the first place, but instantly, look at that, C9 deciding to fall back and save. This is where it gets dangerous too, because you had full shields in this current round against the Outlaw, but now going to the next round, 2 of them, 3 of them are going to be one-shottable as well. Might have to force a armor buy for Jack to upgrade into the next round, and that will put him at 0 credits in the next round too. So good on G2 to change the tempo in their round.
They keep money. I mean, when C9 is getting the wins, it might work in their favor that they're so bloody, right? All the G2 members go down. They're not forcing anything else, but C9's also losing their members, so the buys become harder, and G2 just feels more comfortable.
Yeah.
I'll choke their sight.
It's interesting too, if you're looking at what I was mentioning going into the second half, strange walls that shouldn't happen here for Baby Bay as he's playing on that Vice.
He's the mid one.
Yeah. 2 rounds ago when they're taking full mid control, places the wall on the top of vents. That previous round, he actually placed the wall inside sewers so that it actually gets early information on anybody rotating out from sewers, but it also gives a gap from anybody rotating out towards the spawn. So for G2's approach, they just feel like there's not going to be any type of aggressive pushes. Timing's being found by C9 from 1B line all the way through spawn towards A. So it looks like they do have some sort of theory around how they want to place these walls and play around the Vice walls on the attack, after all. The last timeout now for C9. Again, playoff opportunity on the line for Cloud9 too. They desperately need this dub.
Felt comfortable on split too. But I think also G2 felt comfortable coming in with what they were going to face and how much they've been refining over the past few weeks. 11-5. C9 looking to strike back after this timeout. The buys are there. Celsius back and forth. Just put siding Judge or Bulldog, and he's going to go Bulldog on this one. A little far away from the pit, so Judge may not be as effective, and Oxy will actually take it. So they're just sorting out where that firepower is going to be. Trading the guns around. All right. G2 instantly into B main. They found a fight a few times there from C9 before. How much do they stall? Oxy, oh.
Getting one is big.
The Judge doesn't get the payoff. Jack's able to trade back on Leaf. They still have most of the smokes they want.
Right now, because they prowled early towards the B site for G2 and they instantly saw somebody close towards B, they don't want to engage into a hit on that B site despite Leaf getting information on 2 out of 3 players of Cloud9 encroaching against them. They expect the walk out for information, which they punished them before, and they'll do it again.
G2 winning the swing, power in numbers once again. They've realized it would be the way to win numerous fights across both maps. Little sun in the eyes there. It happens. It happens.
Yeah, the face he made when he flashed himself too, but Jack instantly throws out the Nightfall, so that cancels the plant.
C9 trying to keep G2 off game point here. Series point here. And it's going to be a high-low that does it. No, coming up with 2 final ones to end that round. And a 6th for C9.
Ends up being beautiful here for the 2 players moving up from challengers.
Yep.
And pulling out the protocol of that high-low. Note coming in from Team Core, being the 2nd highest rated controller player in the VCL under Stallion of Team YFP, where Jack actually comes from. So now both of these players joining together in the C9 and winning a nice little 2v2 in the end. Kind of needed Baby Bay to win that fight against Note when Note showed his hand at the bottom of spawn. But the controller stayed stoic and allowed here C9 to stay in this game.
Tagamo tucking and ducking. Gets himself to safety on the other side. Looks like they might get a double swing once this goes down, and they'll play that wall drop for a quick kill. They've liked ramp, but they decide against it for now. They went at pit as soon as C9 used it on Lotus. Are they going to go at pit to try and get Zelsis again? Okay, they go around it. Oh.
I think they still want to contest this, though.
Well,
this might be an easy 3-2-1. Just
exactly.
Get the best out of it.
They commonly just leave one person in that area. So the trade works out for them. It's the advantage that they want. Zeppa's going to be probably found out by this, but he waits for it to turn around. Babybay still has the timing with Jogamo coming up through mailroom.
And that site open, guaranteed now with the Steel Garden to clear up that site. Now it's the triple flank coming in from C9, though, that Trent has to be ready for. Not ready for that one. Gets info on one only.
He's so far ahead. What? Question mark? And it looks like nobody's going to want to peek him again.
Go, go, go.
Valen does want that challenge. They're going to get together, though. The back pedal to keep safe and know that they can protect this from heaven. If they don't have a smoke. Wait, there's a smoke actually for Note. We make this very awkward as well. Puts one onto site, and Oxy's going to stay as the firepower. Looking for another one, a third, and another 4K for him in the series. Dashes one way. Babybay finds a third, his own fourth! Impossible. Babybay ace coming through. The defuse for Note, though, to fully deny it. It's just a 5K, considering. But a nice round coming in for C9 to get a 7th.
Yeah, silver lining in the end. So he pulls out the ult, gets 3 kills, and is halfway almost to his next Steel Garden. But you can see the responsibility and why here you have a player like Oxy in a roster for Cloud9, how much value he's gotten solo. The 2 players behind him bait it towards that spawn so that he just finds his players and his kills solo. And then the rest could follow up because you still throw the element of mystery that you don't know who really is flanking behind. Is it only Oxy? Is it 2 more players? And it helped out towards the end. Yeah, you saw the head shake from Imi despite the win there for C9 because it continues to be expensive for Cloud9 in the next round.
So bloody every time. They keep just going to the last drop. Babybay, like 23 kills now after that 5K. He is definitely putting up the numbers for G2. 11 rounds in their favor here, but C9's been able to battle back. Make this interesting on their pick of split.
Toxin screen down.
That's going to make a bit of noise here. So the insert from Leaf is, there you go. He pings it out already. Here's the footsteps of the Neon rotating across as well. So now he pings towards screen. So, okay, well, we got 2 players confirmed now towards the A site. So these 2 guys on middle could do some damage. Babybay is trying to find his timing, and Valen's trying to lurk up on the B side as well.
Oh my gosh.
This is so difficult for the 2 players on mid C9.
One's cleared. Tries to get the bank nade off. This is going to be tough for Zeppa. He actually clears the Raze ultimate. 3v3. Yeah, he's going to. Oxy's trying to get there early with the judge.
I think he's going to get it. Not anymore. Not where the Razor Vine's being thrown down.
Sight for G2. They just don't know it yet, and that's going to play into C9's favor, giving them some time to walk up, splitting it at 2-1. 10 seconds on plant. Oxy finds out where Babybay is, gets the relay boat, but they're going to have to chase him pretty far. He's trying to buy more time. The kill comes in as the spike gets planted. It's refreshed enough for a slow, patient retake from C9. Overdrive. Waltzing it right in to make sure backside's clear, get the smoke down, get the defuse start, and start to pull them out of the woodwork. Good smoke down. Triple peek. And that's going to be able to do the trick. Note again with Jack helping to clean up the round as Oxy slides around to make it difficult. It's going to be another one for C9 as they inch closer to 11 rounds.
I wonder if this is going to start and spark the conversation of a timeout for Josh RT with the rest of the team at G2. Because so far they've done an excellent job here to control the mid round, to win these fights on mid control. But on the execution where they throw out to get info, they have site control. It's the post plan here that hasn't been working too well for G2's positioning. Decides not to hit onto the timeout. Oh, never mind. There it is.
They do. He was hovering the button, and then he's like, yeah, yeah, sure. Because you know what? It's also C9's momentum that needs to be cut in his eyes.
Yeah.
Most likely.
It also depends, too, what conversation was happening here for Valen as the IGLs across his team. Is there something that he likes, what he hears? Maybe not. Now he's going to chime in onto that one, too. Probably identified some of these gaps that we've been seeing here from that mini-map, from the radar. We've been watching this game between both G2 and C9. And the name of it so far has been a lot of these flood retakes, right? From how they're currently playing. The only real aggression you're seeing and real space making you're trying to get from C9 for the past couple of rounds has been towards that middle.
Yeah.
But they've been very good here on flood retaking for the B side for Cloud9.
Nice way to like alter up what G2 thinks they're seeing too, right? They've done a few where they kind of push off vents. Zelsis was able to activate and has kind of been hot ever since those 2 ramp kills, really finding his aim in 1v1. So that's helped to bring him back up too. But you're right. Now C9's trying to make it scattered where their plays are getting, keep G2 gassing from that defensive side.
Let's also give the honorable mention right now, coming back from this timeout, that BBB is also dropping 24
and 11, yeah.
And 20 rounds of play here for G2. Literally being a thorn on the side of C9 on the defense. And on attack, doing a decent job here on the Lurks, helping out the team for support with util here from the Razorvines.
These rounds get so scary because somehow Trent always just finds a nasty shot with his Sheriff, or they wait, they buy enough time. It's going to be the spray as they just predict the walk across. And this could be a 12th round solidify for G2 if C9 cannot stop the pressure. Oh, just gets out alive, so they're going to be able to play their life for now. But look, just spreading out.
They're planning for a spawn as well with the pit up. Again, step 1 was good. Mid-control is there for G2. Now it's the pulse plan inside a pit, but a lower buy. Remember, it's a G2 stinger bar by around 1 Phantom that got them into this B site.
The map is completely flipped now as C9 come from the attacker side just to get back in. Oxy's down first. They're going to have 3 entries from this side of the pit. Oh no, Zeppa does grab Jogamo on that. They cruise into the site, and Noda gets a quick drive-by onto Trent. Sourcing the last 2 guns. In Sands, they know the balance now up top, so they have all 3 members. The knowledge of where they could be. Oxy pushes forward. C9 clean up the site, and they flood back for a 9th round here.
No goes for the defuse in the end. Cutting it close now for Cloud9, and thankfully they had the showstopper to really disrupt the pulse plan of G2 inside that pit. Not only do you force Leaf outside of the pit, but you also get value off a pick onto Jogamo with it. So that reel out here for the rest of the players to move through. Valen unfortunately didn't have any stars left to work with when he got into the site. Couldn't play a grab well to win it off the time. Boom.
Got him.
We're all good, we're all good.
Got him. It can take time. Maybe he's placing util, you know? Okay, Jog. This is my space. And this is just to activate the defensive side, make Cloud9 feel like they're not in the right position, to find out where he is, and instantly 3 are able to source what Jogam was trying to do.
This could still be a stop and go though, right?
Yeah.
Jogamo moved in very quickly, spotted 3 players inside the vents. But instead, looks like G2 are going for the instant call to pivot on the top of this A ramp area, or sorry, of middle, so that the A ramp could actually start activating on that side.
Trying to go for the silent jump and almost gets caught out there. Jack takes quite a bit of damage. This peek, push up. Oh, Zeppa's just on the other side of this wall. And there are going to be ships in the night. And Oxy pays for it. What a timing. It's still repaired there, a little retribution for his teammate. But it's a scatter. It looks like G2 is going to still try to commit to this right side. They choose the right side, and they might get a lot of space.
Oh, unfortunate timing for Zeppa. I was just about to mention, it was surprising here that BBB wasn't moving with his team, but there's a committed TP that gets the kill onto BBB.
With the play. Been holding B as an anchor with cement shoes, and now ready to move to the other side to make it work. Valen's able to get the better of him for just a moment, but he does a great job at finding 2 before going down. Yeah, C's comes in. Oh my God! Valen gets the 3rd one! G2 has had too many rounds in the eyes of C9 fans that went that way. They gotta be happy about it though.
And it was perfect there. The hero play from Note coming out, almost flicking onto the 180 for the 3rd kill. The C's was perfect. He's low, he's deafened. The jump spot was perfect, yet the spray transfer comes out from Valen. Cutthroat indeed for that play. That might be the nail in the coffin right now for C9. They do have money to work with a bit. A Judge, a Stinger, has shields for so many, and Leaf comes out with the Outlaw.
Absolutely crazy, the things that G2 is able to pull out here, and it would be even crazier the C9 be able to just brush it off and make some more rounds happen as they were. Still have weapons jacked, one on a stinger, and they're about to meet the full power of G2 as they want to take this A ramp. Prowler detects a few. Would think they might have caught a shoulder there of each other.
Yeah.
Because Oxy doesn't want that again.
But it's a full exit from G2 here. Nice little stall from a Season 8 though, and the Satchel. Juggernaut was able to get it out. Yeah. That's nice.
Just tuck up around the wall as well and keep that damage from fully coming through. Slow space grabbing from G2. C9's got to be sure that they can still cover each other on these takes now that they've been pushed back, now that they might feel uncomfortable. Steel Garden comes out.
Do you fight towards spawn here?
Do you, or do you waterfall into sight? Seems like they're a little indecisive on it, but Jack gets taken down behind the map, and that's going to be a flood in. Zeppa and the rest of the team talking about won't commit into them, and they'll have to wait for the post plant.
Beautiful wall bang there from Baby Bay. Now C9 forced to flood retake. They've been good at it, but not too sure it's going to go against 5. Make that 4 now of G2. Juggernaut's low on HP as well.
Giving the space for Oxy, but Juggernaut still finds it. The paranoia close enough to be able to deliver. Nightfall comes back. G2 is only looking for Zelsis left. He's up top, and the shots from Zelsis are true for the first one, but there's just too many. It's just G2, and they find themselves moving into playoffs.
A great look for G2 for today, reinvigorated with a new composition, a change of comp onto Split. And they're able to take down the undefeated C9, who were 3-0. Now, unfortunately, 3-1, and also the hopes of making a playoffs pretty much donezo here for the C9 crew.